Imago Dei, image of God, yeah, yeah.
In Cultural Spotlight this week, we featured gospel recording artist Marq Johnson, and we welcome him to the show. Good morning, Sir
Thanks
Johnson.
for having me.
You're most welcome. 8-6, we go back to 8-6. Talk to us about, because that's the time when you got involved in music.
Right, I started formal training in classical piano at that time, and my parents told me that I actually hated it. I cannot imagine myself hating music at all, but eventually, I got to love it, and I started kind of acing it, humbly. Started in the exams at the Royal Road Associate School of Music, and got distinction, 6 distinctions. So I became like a distinction student. Once Marq goes to exam, they know I'm coming back with a distinction. And then after that, I got involved at church, with the Sunday school choir and so on. Eventually became the choir director of the Sunday school choir. That's teenage years. And then director of the youth choir, and then the corporate choir, and then the national chorale in our denomination. So the craft grew, my passion got deeper and stronger, and music became the biggest part of my life, pretty much.
You ever thought of doing anything else? Being a teacher?
Yeah, when I was applying for UTech right after high school, I applied for architecture, because I guess that creativity inside of me was crying out, was screaming, but I couldn't understand it. But I applied for architecture, never got through for that, but I did estate management. So I have my degree in, I'm a formally trained property valuer. That's what I am, right? And I'm now doing project management as well, pursuing my international certification in that. But music is really, let me put it this way, I believe I'm called to the next generation, to inspire the next generation. Music is my tool. And so I'm passionate about reaching the next generation, but I guess the passion directed me to that through music. Yeah, kind of.
In terms of the writing process for you, is it easy being an assistant? You have to be in a certain zone, you have to go to the beach to do it. How does your writing process look like?
I like the question. Most of my songs are written early in the morning. I can't explain why, but it's early in the morning. Do I need assistance? Only from God, really. I've never really had to sit with anybody to write. However, when I write, I would bounce it off persons in my circle, producers and so on, and if there's a tweak here or there, I'm quite open to that. But the writing process is very interesting because I'm a musician. When I write, whenever I get inspiration for a song, not only do I get the lyrics, but I get the progression, I get the melody, I pretty much get everything. So when I go to a producer, I'm going to the producer with a full idea, and then the producer will tweak and adjust as it unfolds.
Does it make it easier because you have so many expertise in your background, because you can play instruments?
It does, actually it does. And what the producers enjoy is that they can talk to me in musical terms. So they can say, okay, that progression there, let's change that to this, and let's change the melody to that, go to the third instead of the seventh, and that kind of vibe. So it makes the process even more fulfilling. For both of us, because we're both musicians, and it's just really exciting creating music.
I want you to delve a little bit into 1232 plan as much as it is.
Right.
And then transition into 2015, because that was a very important year for you as well.
It was. So a group of musicians, we used to play together for about 10 years, in church, in different choirs, and different services and so on. And we used to always talk about, traveling the world with our music and recording and that kind of vibe. And it was in 2011 we decided that, hey, we're chatting about this too long now. It's time to either do it or just lock shop and call it a day. So of course we opted to do music. So we started rehearsing, started writing. Well, I was writing before, so we started exploring the songs, and we decided in 2012, 2014, let's go record. The first time we went to record, the producer, because I was the lead singer of the band, the producer said to all of us, the band leader was there, all the musicians were there, that Marq can't sing, so you guys need to find a lead singer, right? And Marq, you stick to the piano. Go back to the piano, stick to that. And you guys need to find a lead singer. Because
hearing that, What
So,
kind of signal did that send?
well, the thing is, he said lead singers are born, they're not made. So that did two things to me. Half of me was crushed, like completely devastated. But the other half remembered that vision that I had from teenage years. Whenever I looked in the future, I saw myself on a massive festival stage with a microphone and a guitar. And I'm a pianist, I don't know why I saw a guitar, right? So the half of me was crushed, but the other half remember that vision. And so I signed up with for vocal classes right away, twice a week, even when I couldn't afford it. Every Monday, every Wednesday I was there. 1 year after that, I released my first single in Cayman, Jamaica, and Trinidad. 1 year, and so that was 2015. In 2016, I was voted Best New Artist of the Year by some New York gospel radio station. 2017, I was Voters' Choice winner on a UK chart. In 2018, I was Best Sensation, Breakout Sensation for the Sterling Gospel Music Awards here in Jamaica. The reason why I'm saying all of this is because what I say to young people, when I do my school tours and I go to the remand centers and the boys' home and I talk to kids, I say to them, and I tell them this story, I say to them, hey, what if I believed what the producer said?
I was just about to say.
What if I just took his advice and forgot about what I saw? And so it is very important for us to know why we're here. It is very important to pay attention to that burden and that burning inside of us, because it comes from somewhere. It was placed there for a reason.
It is also important to be careful as to what we accept as our own truth.
Definitely. And so if you see my shirt, it's Imago Dei. This is my lifestyle brand as an artist. Imago Dei is a Latin for image of God. And if we don't know our identity, then someone else can redefine our identity for us. So
what does identity mean for you? Because it means different things.
So identity pretty much is not just what you do, it's who you are. It encapsulates why you're here. So we're all here to make Earth a better place, yeah? But you have a unique lane, I have mine.
So the spiritual assignment and the human experience.
Certainly. And so to be human is not to err. We have always been told that. To be human is to really be truly like God, because God created us in his image and likeness. And to be truly human is to be like God, which is love, which is justice, which is powerful. Exactly.
So you have amassed all of these lovely accolades and you're still working very hard and continuing to improve on yourself. So tell us about the latest work that you have been doing.
So we did an event, a free online live show on YouTube the 23rd of August, about 2 weeks ago. And that was to raise funds for completing the album, the upcoming album, as well as to raise funds to reach those young men, particularly those young men locked up in juvenile correctional facilities. I recently developed this burden for that group of young men because I visited a facility once and I sang my songs, I shared my music, shared my testimony and my story with them. And when I looked in their eyes, it's almost as if they have never heard anything quite like that before, or they have heard it before but not quite like that. And it resonated. I could see some of them just staring at me the whole time, almost as if they never blinked once. And I realized these guys, some people say that they belong there, forget about them, blah, blah, blah. That's besides the point. That's not part of my narrative or my discussion. I'm saying they're there now. What can I do? What role can I play to help them not only to be rehabilitated, but even after that, the integration process? What can I do? I don't have all the answers, I don't have all the solutions, but what can I do? And I have my music, and music is powerful.
Maybe what you're doing is basically the answer that they require.
Quite possibly, and I won't stop. And so the album that we're doing now is really dedicated to the next generation, is to create that positive alternative to amidst all the ills that are happening and all the negatives. I want to be that spark that can inspire a young boy, a young girl to say, hey, he made it, he defied the odds, I can do it as well.
So when is this album coming out?
Can't say yet. Can't say yet. I'll come up for an interview for that. Can't say yet. We're still working on it, and we're pretty excited. We're looking somewhere in the region of January, maybe a little before, maybe a little after. But we're rushing it along because we don't know how long we have.
But in terms of any singles being released, tell us about the latest one.
All right. So the latest buzz right now, surprising to me, everybody has fallen in love with this song entitled "Life." It pretty much verse 1 talks to men who are just not setting the right example, corruption and violence and so on and so on. And verse 2 is talking to the ladies who believe that they have to degrade themselves to get ahead. And the chorus was pretty much says, life can be beautiful, doesn't have to be this way. Hear what I say, trust God, the only one who can keep you every day in sunshine and rain. That's it. Just simply, life can be beautiful. It doesn't have to be the way you have known it to be. There's better.
Do they still think that you genuinely I would say that?
Well, I don't know, and honestly at this point, I honestly don't care because I'm just doing my part.
That's all that matters. If you have one life mantra, what would it be? If you had one life?
It's be true to your identity. Pursue the discovery of God, the discovery of self, and the discovery of purpose. Life outside of that really is pointless and meaningless. It's empty. And we can see it in the news. There are so many persons who have everything materially, but they are empty, broken, miserable.
Where do we follow you? As you're wrapping now, where do we follow the journey with you on social media?
Well, I'm on Instagram. Most of my stuff happens there, and my handle is Imago Day TV. That's IMAGA DEI TV. I'm also on Facebook, Marq Johnson TV. That's MARQ Johnson TV, and YouTube, same thing, Marq Johnson TV.
It was Zodiac Jesus who said, turn on your heart like a little shine wherever you go.
That's before my time.
That's the takeaway from this particular interview.
Awesome.
Beam
Awesome.
of
Thank you.
light in you.
Thank you.
So thank you so much to Marq Johnson, Gospel Recording Artist. Sunrise continues after these messages.
Imago